lasting power of attorney forms two parts in the UK, one health and welfare and one property and finance, and we also add a living will as well. So property and finance enables a power of attorney to be granted to an individual to go to the bank, for example, draw someone's pension, deal with utilities, that type of thing. And a health and welfare power of attorney will give an attorney the ability to choose whether somebody goes into care, maybe what type of care they receive, that sort of thing. And an advance directive is where you actually have the words given to you as an attorney by the donor. That's what we call someone who grants a power of attorney, the donor. For things such as not resuscitating, which a lot of people understand, but all the way down to if there are any options on the market that can keep me alive, please do so. So not everyone has the same thought processes. There are people, for example, who if they were in a coma wouldn't necessarily be able to tell someone they were a vegetarian, and therefore these types of things are all written into the advance directive, or what is commonly called a living will. How this works is if a client buys a power of attorney for property and finance, then we will give them the advance directive and the power of attorney for health and welfare without charge. All they'll need to do is give a £5 donation to Dementia UK, and that is everything provided. Now, obviously bearing in mind that you can pay upwards of £1,000 per person for two powers of attorney that are unregistered, let alone without an advance directive. Obviously this is a significant saving, and it isn't, as some people think, it's a loss leader. We do make money on that, that's okay. I'm often asked, why are you so cheap? And my answer is normally, well, ask the others why they're so expensive. We very much like this particular offer because there are a lot of people out there who are over 65, and this applies to them only, who really should have powers of attorney but don't have that sort of money. So at £167 for two powers of attorney and an advance directive, it puts it in the price bracket of everyone. And to be fair, my opinion has always been, if you get married, you should sign the register, and then the next thing you should sign is the powers of attorney, because a lot of people don't realise that even if they're married, they don't have a power of attorney, a right to discuss or even decide on what happens to their spouse, let alone, of course, if you are single and have no one to speak on your behalf. Or a lot of people are unaware, of course, with cohabitation, there's no legal right there either. So of the three offers, it's my personal favourite. It obviously applies to a generation which is getting older. We are all predicted by 2040, I think. If you've got to 90 by then, you're probably going to reach 100. So the chances are, if we're living longer, that we're going to fall foul of one of these degenerative and chronic conditions. So I'm a big believer in them, and very happy that we're able to help Dementia UK at the same time. Yeah, this one has been in play for about 2 months, I think, and I think we've had 10 take up this offer. But of course, as time goes by with more radio advertising and more leafleting, then it will become exposed even more, and I suspect that will probably rise to about 20 a month, which at the end of the day is a nice regular income for Dementia UK. But it applies to Worthing, of course. You know, we're only advertising in Worthing, and I suspect as time goes on we will be recommended outside of Worthing, in which case word of mouth will continue. We have this offer at the moment until New Year's Eve, but there's no reason why we shouldn't, continue another version of it next year. And it was primarily because one of the ladies that works there came in for a will, and we were discussing obviously the aspects of what she needed. She decided that it was something she'd like to promote, and we've had a lot of feedback and referrals from them directly. And one of our members of staff is working on becoming a dementia friend at the moment, and also working with a project to help the elderly in terms of befriending them, so going once or twice a week and just sitting with them, etc. So it's an area that obviously we deal with by virtue of what we do quite a lot, but we all have a special interest in that.